Okay.
Okay, I think we're live.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to the Design
Dan, I
Show
think we
on
should
this
start.
lovely Friday.
We should start selling subscriptions to listen to us before the show and after the show.
Yeah,
Like they do on other things.
What do they call that when you have the outtakes? I mean,
Called a cold open. A cold open. We do have a cold open. We don't actually have an opening. We just have a cold open.
Yeah, we just
Good morning, everybody.
We roll into it. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Or
Good morning.
or good evening, wherever you're from, or tomorrow, as in what's his face that joins us from tomorrow, where he already knows who won the lottery. We were joking about that at the event in Coeur d'Alene.
Hey, Aaron.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for being here today. We've got some fun stuff happening. I forgot to prepare one thing, though. I forgot to prepare my pictures. Dang it. From the event. I knew I was forgetting something. Well, let me pull them up here. So today we are going to do some more chief hacks, just basically more chief education about certain little things that maybe you know or don't know about. We all were at the Chief Architect event and learned, I learned quite a bit this time. It was really a lot of fun. We sat through the advanced too. Robin, what class were you in?
I was in the
Robin, your audio is going to heck. Got it.
Okay. In the render class.
Robin, turn your video off, Robin. See if we can we do Robin without video?
She should be able to turn her camera off.
I think so, yeah. Robin, she's gone.
I'll get on the phone with her and talk her through it.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. We had a bad internet connection. Speak of the proverbial devil, there is Rene. Hi, Rene. We were just wondering if you're going to join us today.
Yeah, I was having
apparently technical
difficulties. It's just one of those days, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, Robin was in a panic. She lost a bunch of files in her account, in her Dropbox account, but she was relieved to know that even if you delete them, they're still there for a while.
Yeah.
So that's always good. And I do subscribe to Dropbox annual save your file option, so that if a file gets deleted, you've got a year to undelete it before it goes away forever. That's really handy. I have used that before, and it's been a godsend. It's only like $50 for a typical account. So I think I pay $170 a year for 2 terabytes of storage with that function. All right. So we've got lots of people joining us. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello from South Carolina. Aaron Rose. Alyssa. How you doing, Alyssa? Nice meeting with you yesterday. It was awesome. Okay. You guys, I was just doing something here real quick. Here, where to go? I was going to talk for a second about Coeur d'Alene. We had a great time. At least I did. I don't know about you two, but it was really fun.
I did have fun.
Yeah, it's always so much. I get so much joy of hanging out with you guys. I tell you, it's just. I mean, we goof around a lot, we joke around a lot, but we're also pretty damn serious about how we help our clients and the things that we do. So that makes it a lot of fun. Let's see, let me share my screen. Oh, I moved it. Here it is. There we go. So where did my screen share go? I'm really on the ball here today. Hang on a second. Where did my sharing go?
It's right there.
Is it?
There.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oops. Add to stage. There it is. So this was our last night in Coeur d'Alene. We had dinner at a really nice restaurant. You know, it's fun to be with everybody. Sunset picture in Coeur d'Alene. Here's part of our gang watching. We were up by Coeur d'Alene, out by the lake, sunset. And some of these pictures will be repeated. Here's the Coeur d'Alene Resort. You know, if you guys can ever get to Coeur d'Alene, be sure to join us when you come down there. We did take a little plane trip. That was fun. We got to fly over Coeur d'Alene Lake. So that was something different that we do. Robin, you had left before we got to this. So maybe next year. Anyway.
Yeah, no. Next year for sure.
Yeah. So let me get out of this. And so it was fun. Chief they rent a hotel and they have all these different classes going on. And it's so fun to see everybody. The company keeps doing their thing. The employees keep working hard to create a better software. And we get to walk up by the lake. That was fun. So it's a really, if you haven't been to Coeur d'Alene, you got to check out Coeur d'Alene. It's just a neat city. See if this will play.
Oh, that's a great one. Thanks, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks,
All
Dan.
Right. Yeah, anytime, Robin.
Appreciate it.
So
you were asking what class I was in.
Yeah, what were you in?
So I was in the rendering class. They have a new 3D rendering class for interiors. And then, so it was 3D rendering and interiors. And then it was the second day I went into advanced level 1. Okay. So I just moved around and it was great.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. You told us that. So
I came into your class too, the advanced level 2, while they were talking about terrain, and it went way over the top of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, terrain.
Pushed her right back out the door. You can't be in here.
It pushed me right back out. Yeah, well, they were talking about what's happening in terrain next year in 18. So tools. Yeah, which was pretty cool.
And they never said we couldn't talk about it. So we'll mention that the new terrain tools in next year are, to me, they look pretty dang phenomenal. I don't know. What's your comments, guys? What do you think?
That's
you both saw it. Huh?
That was a funny comment from JT. It was good meeting him. I thought they were really cool. It was looking really promising what he had going. I mean, that is one of my favorite developers over at Chief. So
cool.
Handling that. Ryan over at Chief handles all your rendering features year in year, his team, and which includes Dan and another young guy that I just met, and I can't remember his name, but they're handling the terrain largely because that team really knows how to get things processed on the graphics card. And so they're going to be handling the terrain modeling on the graphics card, which means it moves fast.
Yeah,
so that's
really cool. It was amazing what they're doing, what you're showing, and I like that function where you can put in.
I'd like to actually. I would say I was talking to somebody yesterday. Who had made some not very positive comments about going to Chief. And here's the thing about if you go to going to Coeur d'Alene, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to be willing to say this might not be the right class for me, or you may. You need to ask questions. It was pretty amazing how few people were willing to ask questions. And what I have found is with most of the instructors, if they're going too fast or if you need more information, they're more willing to modify the way they teach. Not all of them, but a lot of them were very willing to modify and to get you what you need. You know,
they need feedback. Give them the feedback, give them the questions. And just like when I teach a class, I want feedback. I want people to tell me you got it, you didn't get it, do this, I'm going too fast, going too slow. We all work really hard to try to do a good job to help everyone learn Chief, and so do the people in Coeur d'Alene, and they just need feedback. So,
but I have to say that
anyway, we got to move on.
I learned so much when I go there. It's amazing.
I do. Yeah, I do too. It was fun, and can't wait. We'll go again next year. So this year we can try to get there a day early and do some more fun things. Anyway, guys, check it out. We got a class coming up in Bloomington in a month, and we get to beginner, intermediate, advanced. And we'll kind of roll through that process. And if you can join us, we'd love to have you there. So we still got room. It's filling up, though. I'm really pleased with the enrollment. It's looking pretty good. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. Pro Academy is going to go live at the next designer show. So I'll tell you all about that. You'll start hearing from me in about a week. And we're going to make that happen. So it's time. I'm ready to rock and roll with the Pro Academy. Hope you guys do.
All right.
So, we'll get this thing rolling. So it's been, I'll confess, I've been kind of enjoying the summer. So I haven't been working as hard as I should be because it's been enjoying my family and just everything around me. And it's been wonderful. But I have been working hard too. So I shouldn't say that. All of the above. We're getting there. So today we got some hacks, nothing too special. This is the same model I had last week with a couple of things in it. Last week we covered the Stair tool and a few other things that
Hang on, Robin.
Yeah.
Robin, we're hearing a little bit of your background noise, I think.
Yeah, mute yourself
Got it.
while you're perfect. Which is surprising. These mics usually don't pick up the background noise, so that's unusual. These Shocks headsets, they're bone sensing. They're really awesome.
Yeah, something's going on with your headset this time around too. It's not as good of quality as usual. But keep
Yeah,
talking.
you might be on the wrong
You
microphone.
might be on the wrong mic.
Why is there music playing all of a sudden? Who's doing this?
What are you showing?
He can't hear you now.
Okay.
His really cool stair thing that he did last week. And for those of you who have not watched the video from the last show, oh my goodness, you absolutely need to watch it. It was great.
Yeah, I watched it. I wasn't in that episode, so I ended up watching it anyways. I guess I could switch to me. What are we doing? We're talking about hacks today, right?
Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I accidentally pushed a button on my headset and I was playing music for some dumb reason. If you missed something in one of these shows, go to the blog at Chief Experts. That's where we post all of the replays. So you'll be able to go there, and you can always go back to the previous shows and click on them, watch them. We always kind of give you a synopsis of what happened in the show. You can go play it. You can go to YouTube and watch it. So it's all there, and we try to make it as easy as possible for you to get to that stuff. So let's get into the agenda here real quick. Again, we covered some stuff last time. The Stair thing, I think I laid that out pretty clearly. I've got a little list today. Rene, you got any specials you want to talk about in your products?
No, you just missed them.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had some Labor Day sales, but that was it.
Okay, well, your products are still a good deal, so everybody go buy Rene's stuff. It's rabbitdesign.net.
There's so much in my template that I sell now that I can't drop that price anymore.
Yeah, and you can purchase Rene's time at a very, very, very reasonable price to help. He'll come and set it up for you. So,
yeah.
Keep that in mind. All right, Project Browser. I just want to add, I've had some clients this week that I have helped get out of the Project Browser. Chief's new built-in Project Browser thing, because they had designers in their company and they're having a double time sharing files. So how are you guys doing? I'd love to hear in your comments if you're liking the new Project Browser, if you're using it, if you turned it off. We won't necessarily get to them, but I'll go back and review those. And I would love to hear your feedback on the Chief's new Project Browser. And again, in X18, they're saying that's supposed to be cloud-based, so you'll be able to share files easily and give permissions to other people to share your files. So that should work pretty well. But in the meantime, I've been using it. It's okay. I haven't been doing a ton of projects of late, so it's not that big a deal. One little thing I want to point out, when you right-click on any of these projects, and again, get used to right-clicking on things in the project browser, in the library, because there's so many things you could do when you right-click on things in Chief that will make your life so easier. Yeah, is that Rene, you said everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere.
Use that right mouse button everywhere, and just try it. Whenever you're on something, right-click on it and see what happens. And you're going to get some options there. One of the things you could do if you're working on a bunch of projects, but you've only got a few that you're currently working on, pin it to the top. So you can right-click on the project, the main project folder, and pin it, so that you'll see a little push pin in the icon, and that will keep it at the top of your list. So when you're done working on that, unpin it, and then it'll just go back in the order. And I believe you can also, where's the archive thing, or what was that again? Well, I guess when you're done with the project, just export it into the folder where you keep all your client stuff. And if you ever need, then it'll be out of your project browser in Chief altogether, and then you can always re-import it into Chief Architect and work on it again. Okay. Little tip for you when you export a project. So if I go export this somewhere, let me just put it right here and I'll export it. You're going to notice that Chief is creating CA Proj file, Chief Architect Project file. And they do that so these projects are compatible with the new project browser that they have. Okay, they're saved through files. Let's open that location. And when I go to that location, an FYI for you is that that thing there, you can't open it and do anything with it other than bring it back into the Chief X17. But let's say you want to open it in a version in X17 that doesn't have the project browser, although I think you can import that even if you don't have a project browser. But if you go in here and you rename this zip, just get rid of the CA Proj and name it zip and say yes. Now you can open that zip and you're going to have two folders. You'll have an assets folder where it stores all your images and all your plan, anything you brought into the program, everything that's linked to that project. And then if you go to the project, you'll see you'll have a folder with the layouts and the plan, anything that again is linked to that project. So even though it says CA Proj, just rename it zip and then you have an extract, go back to the zip. Here's a little tip for you. When you're in your Windows management, this is for Windows users, maybe it's for Apple, Mac too, I don't know. But if you go click on the view, click on view and click on show, file name extensions. Then you'll see the plan, the layout, the .ca proj, the .png, the .jpg. You'll see all the file extensions for all the files. And I do that as soon as I load Windows. That's one of the first things I do because I always want to know what my files extensions are. Anyway, a little tip for you on that one. So anyway, I just want to point that out. And again, I've had some clients having trouble with it, understanding it. You know, I guess you think we should do a class on that. What do you guys think?
I think they're great.
You're not showing your folder tags in your
folder tags. What's a folder tag?
It's your gear icon at the bottom there.
All right.
And folders. Your folders. Yeah. And so if you hit the plus icon, the green plus icon, and just type in anything, rename it to anything.
Say, Dan, we're still getting back.
Where do I?
You're going to right click on it.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're on the wrong way.
What?
Yeah. So maybe Rene can talk about this for a second while you figure that out.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of bass from you too, so I don't think you're on the right mic.
Hang on, let me check. Let me go to my settings. I'll bet. Yes.
And I haven't seen it.
Let's see. So just to show people this, I'm going to mute Dan for a second, John.
Okay.
All right. Just to show you guys this, this is I like to call them folder tags. Even the developers know that this is confusing. It's been a joke that we keep running into, which is, this seems redundant because anytime you right click on one of your project files, there's an option, new folder, and then there's also a folders, new folder. So one of these is a tagging system. The other one is dropping a folder into your project. And so it's a little bit different. So it's nice to understand the differences of those two things. So what I can do here is I can hit the plus icon and add essentially a new tag. So this is a new folder tag. And on top of that, we even get to have sub tags of this. Okay, so I can say add a new folder again, sub tag. Now, something that's maybe interesting about this is we can shift select a bunch of our projects and drag them onto that tag. And that means when I click on just this tag, it's going to add that as a filter and only show me those projects I just dropped onto there.
Oh, that's cool.
A really nice way maybe you can do something where it says active projects versus archive projects, or vice versa. And just like the library, we have the ability to add some kind of advanced search and even filter those back down by in folder is talking about these folders. That's what this is referring to. So you can filter by that folder tag. So I just made that sub tag folder. There we go. Now I've created a search parameter that is including this filter as part of that search parameter. So I can search by date, I can search, by the size, etc. So a number of different ways you can organize this way. So I like this. And then if you prefer the type of tags that we use in the library browser, like here's the type of tags we use in the library browser, we can click 2 of them and filter something down based on those 2 clicks. You can get into your preferences, and in the, let's see, I believe it's in, boy, I'm going to lose this for a second. Dialog, side windows, no, library browser, no, project browser. Here we go. In project browser, you can show advanced tags. You can use advanced tags. So if I press OK, this is going to be similar to the library where my tags are now, just click button filters. There's no subfolder level now.
Cool.
And you just have to hover over and click to filter back out of those.
That's awesome, Rene. Thanks for showing that. See, we learn stuff new every day. That's why we show up here, right? Well done.
Right. We got your screen back on.
Thanks. Yeah. Is my background noise a little better?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still hearing something, but it's a little bit better.
I'm going to switch headsets. Go ahead and keep talking, Rene.
Okay. Let's see. We're doing Chief Architect hacks this time around. I don't remember what hacks I was going to share, but
oh no, I'll tell you what you were on the agenda for. There was an agenda, Rene. You need to talk about truss webbing, but just do an overview of how it works, and decorative trussings. Decorative trusses.
What else you got on there?
Those are the 2.
That's it? Oh, man.
Rene wants to show off this laundry room that we were playing with and designing over the weekend.
I do. Well, notice I'm moving through this thing super fast, right? And it just looks really good as I'm moving through it. If you have, I just put a video out on this on my channel. If you have a PC specifically, sorry, Mac users, and if that PC has an Nvidia card, sorry, AMD users, in your rendering technique options, you do have the ability to check on DLSS, real-time denoising. This is only for Nvidia cards. And that's what I have on right now. And that's how I'm able to move through this so smoothly. And what's really, really cool about this is, for those of you that have ever touched a walkthrough, you know that they're extremely time consuming to process. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to select my walkthrough here and toggle on the walkthrough preview. And this is going to give me.
Hang on a second, Rene. Show where that DDS thing is. Show where that is.
It's going to be in your rendering
because it's in your rendering techniques. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're on,
show where it is,
default,
because it's hard to
well, my toolbar is going to be very different from everybody watching this. So if you're on a default toolbar, you typically have a rendering technique options in the top heading here somewhere. And I'm not sure where that is for everybody because I've changed mine. So let's see if I have a camera open and I lost my mouse because it's not, there it is. Then it would be, let's see, in here. So you can double click on this tool. That'll bring you to technique options, get in your physically based ray trace, and then get down to here, DLS, real-time denoising. This is only going to show up if you've got an NVIDIA card on a PC. That's it. And what's really cool about that particular feature is now I have my walkthrough preview. I've clicked on the first, I'm on the first keyframe of my walkthrough. I've got 4 keyframes in this. And what's really cool is you can adjust within your rendering preview right here how your first keyframe is going to be lined up. And then I can move forward to the next keyframe or the previous keyframe, do the same thing, kind of toggle this, get it lined up the way I want to. And then just to show you this, when you have real-time denoising, you can click on this button and it'll say use recording quality and preview, may slow performance. Guess what? if you're using that real-time DLSS, it will not affect your performance. And you can click play through this and watch this thing move very quickly through its shots. So
I was super impressed with that new feature.
Oh, so
oh my
cool.
God. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Just to show people this, I'm going to record just a video here, and we'll just I'm going to save to, I'll just save to the project. Why not? And I'll make it a WMV. I'm going to pump this up to 10 seconds at, let's just say 40 frames a second. And this is not settings I would typically recommend because this would take so much time. And let's see, it's going to say select a project. Sure, Robin Fischer's project. There we go. And let me press OK. And this is just how fast it's going to go. Is we could do this real time while recording it. There,
I know.
there it is. It's
so
right
cool.
now.
It is. It is.
Look
amazing.
at how fast that is.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah.
This is. I've never used that in the past. I'll be using that now.
Yeah.
It's a great way to set something to your
Yeah,
client
this is pretty cool.
that they could just look at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I could show those trusses, or Dan, you want to show your staircase?
Go ahead and do your trust thing.
Okay. All right.
As long as you're at it and you're hot, you're going well.
Okay. I don't know about that.
And your mic's not backfeeding. So, am I okay,
Okay.
now?
You're fine now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Best example. Let's do this. So I just wanted to show how we can maybe do a decorative truss from the truss tool. And just a reminder that you can look at a lot of these tools as just building blocks, okay? And so I'm just going to make this a gable end wall. Might as well do both of these gable end walls. And then I'm going to get to some kind of framing view, maybe a framing roof plan view. And I'll go ahead and set up my auto build roof so that they're trusses. Let's go ahead and make this something like a 10, 12. And then I could just build all framing. And so here I've got some truss profiles. Now, the point of this exercise is that I actually want to modify one of these trusses to be a decorative end truss. And so there's a couple tricks here to get this started, just to go over. I might not build this all the way out in this video because it'd take a little bit of time, but we have the ability to set all our different chord dimensions. So maybe I'm saying that my top chord's 5.5. Maybe I'm saying that my bottom chord's 9.5, 9.25, or something like that. And then we could say the webbing is 5.5, etc.
Thickness is new.
And thickness, and so you're starting to see what's taking shape here. Required king post is going to force this king post in the middle, which oftentimes we're going to do that in some kind of decorative truss. So that's kind of an important one, right? And then we can actually come through here and start to edit this in this next view, which is our open truss detail. So let me open this truss detail. Here's my truss. I'm going to get rid of some of this webbing because this wasn't part of my...
And FYI, usually you have to unlock the layer in order to edit it. I don't know, maybe you have yours set up to go already? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Been a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
So one of the tools that I learned about and I wasn't using properly is I didn't know that the extended tools work. What I was doing before was if I needed a miter out of a truss, I was actually duplicating my top chord and then using that to miter with my in case I needed a miter, right? So that's what I was doing, just so that I wasn't deleting the top chord. I was using it as a utility to get this miter into this. So that's what I was doing before. Now I didn't realize that, we can stretch this, we can kind of move this around, and then take your top chord, for instance, and use that extend. And once you've used that extend, you can draw a line through your profile, and it's going to conform the end of this to butt up your top chord. So
you could use the trim and extend tools. Yes,
trim and extend.
Yeah, but really nice.
Does that only work for? Does that work for moldings? For molding polylines?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah.
That same thing. Then you can miter the edges.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Well, maybe we'll have to see what you're talking about. But what
Okay.
Renee's doing here, yeah, you've been able to do this forever in Chief, and it's really cool. The only trouble is you can't make like a V on the end of that to put it like in the middle of that
Yeah.
upright piece.
Well, and our instructor
I messed
thought
with
that
that.
you could, so it'd be
Nah.
worth checking out.
Yeah, I
messed with
tried
that
it.
a little
tried
bit,
and tried.
Dan. If you have it so that it's breaking the end of it right in the center of it, it will make that V.
Well, boy, I couldn't get it to work. But yeah, if you can get it to work, that'd be great.
So just to show you this and finish this out, I'm not going to worry about what this looks like, but I get to just close this truss detail and just keep in mind building blocks. These are building blocks. We don't necessarily need to keep this as a truss and worry about it losing its profile if something gets rebuilt, etc. You could always just convert this to a symbol. So if I convert the selected to symbol, which is in your edit toolbar, mine's floating in the middle of the screen, convert selected to symbol, we can convert this to some other kind of symbol. And so fixture exterior might work for this. I don't need to necessarily add it to the library. In fact, I don't need to really do anything. I can just place this. And now this is that truss profile. And mind you, it's rotated, etc. But you might, set this from roof and then set this roof to top to be 0 inches. And that would be something maybe clever about, putting this right underneath the roof profile.
Can you show us that in 3D?
Yeah. And now we're going to see how I did.
So
Nice.
So the
Or
other
instead
thing
of
it does,
ceiling.
the other thing it does when you use a truss like that, it orients the materials on the framing members properly, which is really nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So when you're
really
editing,
fast, easy way, decorative gable end.
so when you're editing framing members, keep in mind that sometimes they act a little different than other 2D items in Chief. So we have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
But overall, they're going to be fine.
I'm going to show something
Nice.
that Robin just mentioned
What?
about mitering with moldings.
Okay.
Yep. Robin, just in case you didn't know this, we can always say there's no molding on this selected edge, and it's going to give you that miter.
Brilliant.
Did you catch that?
Thank you. Yeah. Do that again, just so that everybody can see that. And what's the tool? Select the tool
So
and
this
show
is
that.
just the molding tool.
Right.
And if you need just a mitered end profile for some reason, without the return profile, for whatever reason you might need that, you just get to say remove molding from selected edge. And so that's going to force a miter here.
Amazing.
Sweet.
Amazing. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Here, let me have the screen for a second. As long as we're on that topic of trusses, and if you need something a little fancier like this, you're not going to be able to do what Rene just did, because you can't bend those framing members in that view. They're always going to be straight, but you can trim them, extend them, but you can't bend them. So if you need, so this is all drawn with 2D CAD lines. Of course, all I did was I made the first one a solid. I made it the right thickness, the right height. This is actually laying down on the floor plan. Okay, you could draw it in any view, but I just drew it on the floor plan. And if I bring up a 3D view of that, and let me turn that layer on, that was under my porch parts. I don't remember which ones. Here it is. It's out here. So there it is, just laying down. And I just, once you start using the tools, the trim and extend and they'll flip the copy, you only have to draw a part of that, and then you just reflect and make copies of it. So it doesn't take long to draw something like this. But once I was done with it, I went to my floor plan and I just group selected everything. And once I did that, remember with anything in Chief, when you select it, if it's an object, okay, I'll just select some of that. You'll have that. Actually, you know what I had to do with this one? I copied and pasted it into a blank plan. Okay. And when I had just the things I wanted in that blank plan, then I opened up a 3D view like this. Then I went to tools. I'm sorry, 3D. Which one is that again? 3D. Is it 3D or tools? Tools, I think. Where'd they move that to?
Hey, Rene, what was the name of that tool that you used?
Convert to symbol. Symbol, convert to symbol.
Okay.
Okay. And so whatever's showing in that 3D window will become a library object. And then just open your library object, tilt it up, and then I just stick it in my plan as a 3D item. So when I go back to my 3D view here, you'll see that when I put it back in my plan, get over here. There it is in the front of my house. It's just a symbol. Yeah, so it's just one object now. So if I need to change something, I'd have to repeat that process. But I find this really easy to do. I could have just drew it on that elevation and left it there like that too. That would have worked fine. But I find this to be really easy to do.
So Dan, when you made it into a symbol, then you had to go to your rotate, but
Yep.
the rotate and rotate it on the x-axis or the z-axis to bring it up.
Correct. You could do that with anything. It was on Z 90 degrees.
Got it.
So,
By the way, Dan,
Mhm.
And Yeah.
you absolutely can do this with the truss tool.
So you can bend the 3D object.
Yeah, you just need a barrel ceiling.
Right.
Or-
Oh, but
Yeah.
it's a bunch of individual items. But
Even so,
Yeah.
this is
Okay.
even well. That's from the barrel ceiling, but
Mhm.
even if you just had a regular truss profile, you can use the brake tool in an elevation, and then
There we go.
Gets it. Yeah.
See, there you go. That's why we're here. We learn from each other. So cool. I didn't think of that one. I've been doing it this way for so long that that's just how I do it. Either way works fine. That's the beauty of Chief.
that's brilliant.
Yeah. So Robin, what was your question about?
Rene, what was what was the tool that you used to remove it from the selected edge? I can't find it in the toolbar customization. I can't find it. What's it called?
That's only in your edit toolbar.
You said it was called. It's in your
part of your
edit
edit.
toolbar. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you have something selected.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With any
Got it.
molding polyline. Okay. So here's a molding polyline. It's it's a CAD line. You could break it. So I could hit my 3 key and add some breaks in here. And I could turn off the molding just on that piece using this tool right here. Oops. It looks like this. Okay. That'll turn that molding on and off in that one line that I've selected. So when I click that,
What's it called? What is that icon called?
it is called Remove Molding from Selected Edge.
Selected edge.
And-
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
And when I select an edge that's already hidden, it says Add Molding to Selected Edge. So see the icon
Brilliant.
changes.
Brilliant.
And, in this case, if you want a little bit of a return to come around here, just pull this piece in like this. And now you're going to return it in. But when it's against the wall or something like that, you'll see the molding will be have that 45-degree end on it. I think there's a setting too we could do on a corner like that to add that automatically. I forget where that was, but I think they added something like that. Cool. Where are
That's
we at?
pretty cool.
20
Okay.
minutes left. Come on, guys. How come the time goes so fast?
Just so quickly.
So I think we're going to do something on this project browser thing. Maybe not a designer show, but we'll figure something out because there's been so many questions about that. And even,
You guys want a pretty comprehensive review of it? There is one on my.
I'll bet there is. Yep. Is that on your members site?
No, that's
Oh,
free.
just
free.
go to Rabbit Design. Just go to YouTube, search for Rabbit Design, and you'll find it there. Cool. You'll have to send me a link to that so I can send it out to people. Stairs. Covered some stuff last week, and I just wanted to show you one thing about stairs. And so
Will you
when you add,
answer Damon's question?
what
Damon
question?
Rye, it's in your
Where's the
rendering
Nvidia
tools. So the
box?
little, so it's the house with the blue house with the white roof. Go ahead. It's in your rendering tools.
So it's also in the rendering technique options of the walkthrough. So I usually make my walkthrough paths from a camera I've already got established.
You want to show your screen again?
Yeah.
Answer that question.
Let's
I think
see.
so many people are going to want to know this.
Yeah. Because, all right, so active walkthrough, I believe you're going to hit this define button, and then that's going to get you to this walkthrough path specifications. You get to go to camera, define your physically based rendering technique, and then that DLSS under physically
Yeah.
based.
But it's also just
Oh,
whenever
so
you're
again,
on physically rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so-
again, let me take
Yeah.
this back here for a second. It doesn't work.
It's also in a simpler and easier way to find it. Okay. You found
So
it.
in any view, any 3D view, 2D view, elevation, any view that you're in the Chief Architect, pay attention to these three icons. Okay. I've talked about them before. I'll talk about them again real quick. So when you're in a 3D view like this and you click that icon with a pencil on it, that allows you to edit the view that you're looking at. Doesn't matter what kind of view it is. You'll have editing options. And what you're going to do is go define, switch to physically based. There's your DLSS real time. You can make a few other adjustments, and now you'll be in the real-time rendering mode. So just a FYI for you there. That little icon right there. Any view you're in, doesn't matter. You can make those setting changes. And you can also set that up as your default. So you're always using the whatever that DLS thing is that Rene was showing. It's a nice tool. I like it. If your computer supports it, definitely do it. Also, make sure your
AMD was working on something equivalent. I'm
cool.
not sure.
And also make sure that when you go into your preferences, go to your video card status, make sure your drivers are up to date. That'll always help too. So if you're having trouble, if you go to nvidia.com, download their app and run it. So it'll automatically update your drivers. It's not for Mac, it's strictly Windows. That function is not available for Mac. Stairs. I was going to show you one thing real quick about stairs. Last week, we talked about how to do that exposed railing. This week, I want to just show you how to do panels on a stairway. I'm going to make a stairway coming off of a deck real quick. And then Robin, after I do this, Robin's going to show you some cool lighting tricks really fast. Right, Robin? And
Sure, I'm ready.
Rene, what else you got left to show here? I think we had something else on the list.
I don't know, but
Okay.
go ahead. Time's
Okay.
wasting.
Draw your stairs going down. Hold your right mouse button down while you draw your stairs. That will make your stairs go down. Right mouse button, or alternatively, hold the Alt key down on your keyboard and draw it with your left mouse button, and that'll make your stairs go down. The stairs will interact with terrain if you do have terrain in your box, and it will automatically connect to the terrain. I want to draw panels on this stairway like this lovely fish panels I have on my deck. So I'm going to just draw a railing underneath that deck. Let's just go to I don't know if it needs to be a straight deck railing or not. I don't know that it matters. So I'm going to draw that underneath my stairs. Okay. And you'll see that first I'm going to flip that so I can move that point right to there. Let me turn my line weight off. Oops, wrong button. Line weight. Hard to draw with line weight on. Okay, so there's my railing under the steps, but it doesn't look right here. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to open the dialog for the stairs. I'm going to turn the buttons off. I'm going to turn the railings off on the stairs. Then I'm going to click on the railing. I'm going to open its dialog, and I'm going to do a couple things here. I'll go to rail style. I'll make it panels. We're going to go to the, we could, turn these on and off if you want to. You can make all the adjustments you want. I'm going to go to newels and balusters. Now you have a panels option. I'm going to go to library, select the panel that you want. I'll just type in the word panel, and it'll bring up a bunch of different panels in Chief. And I think that fish one is right there. Close enough. Yeah, there it is. You notice there was different size of those panels. These panels are just 3D drawings of something. Anything can become a panel in Chief Architect. Then we're going to go and you can adjust the spacing between the post and Chief. One last thing I have to do is go back to the rail style and tell it to follow the stairs. This is the key to make that railing on the stairs. So I've turned the railings off on the stairs. Now it's going to follow the stairs going up with that panel in there. It could be cable railing, it could be glass, it could be whatever you want. So that's as easy. It's pretty darn easy once you know the steps. Has got anything you want to add to that?
Very nice. Very nice.
No, nobody's got anything to say. Come on.
No, it was really good.
All right. What did I have Rene down here for? Rene was going to show truss webbing, and you did that in decorative trusses. Robin, you're going to show some lighting. You got a really nice hack on.
Do you want me to
laying
show
out
lighting with my really cool? Yes. So
Huh?
I'm going to hit my present, right? I'm
Yep.
presenting, right?
Yeah. Let me
Okay,
remove
there we go.
mine.
Question here for Dan.
Mhm.
Can you save that so you don't have to make it again? Save it as a symbol.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we could save the. I don't think we can save the two things together.
You can save the panel. You can save the railing.
I could make it into a symbol.
That's a symbol.
I have that option, but I don't. Oh, look, I do have an add to library option. Let's see what happens. What did I get? I got just the stairs. So it doesn't add the railing along with it. So no, you'd have to create a separate railing symbol and a separate. You'd have to add the railing to the library and the stairs to the library separate. I didn't think you could save those together because they're two separate things. But you know, once you get it all worked out, just create a folder with the two parts in it, and you're good to go. I think it'd be pretty easy to add it back to your plan. Good question, though. Robin,
Nice.
all yours.
So I have my screen shared, or at least I hit the present button to share.
Now we have to add it to the stage.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
So one of the things that I do is when I'm doing my lighting, I'm very
And
specific
you guys,
about the lighting.
Robin is a lighting expert, so listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. She's actually setting up a classroom with lighting. You can explain that some other time, but that's pretty exciting what you've got going.
I'm actually doing we're doing a lighting lab at the college that is going to end up being one of the most high-tech lighting labs in the Pacific Northwest. So it's pretty cool. So I'm really excited about it. So the first thing that I have done is I have my lighting is already set up in my library, and what I have is already my object information in here. So I have all the specs for this light fixture is already in here. And what I did was I saved it to my default. So even though it says R4, it's actually a 2-inch can, but I don't like how small it is on the plans. And my electricians get a little upset with how tiny they are. So I'm pretty picky about that. So I want to start with how I start doing my lighting. When I'm doing a lighting plan, the first thing I've done is I've spent time doing the research to determine the beam spread and the lumen, the delivered candle power on my work surface and the whole bit. So once I've determined what my beam spread is going to be, I actually create a circle on my plan based on that beam spread. So let's assume that this beam spread is 39 inches, which typically comes out to about what I'm creating. So I start by creating a circle on my plan and I start placing it on the plan. And then I'm using Rene's tools. So I'm learning how to use Rene's tools, which is another thing. And I don't know where that the pin button is. Rene, where's the pin button on your little thing? The little sticky button that keeps it copied.
Just copy that and then you should be an option on your edit button.
Got it. Tool. So what I start doing is I just start making these circles all over my screen, right? So I just put them all over my screen, wherever the plan, put them everywhere, right? And honestly, you guys, you really are using a lot more lighting than you think you need to do. And in fact, there would be 3 of them in here. So once I create these, create my circles where I need them to be, then I'm going to start moving them around so that way I'm getting coverage the way I want them to be. Now, when I am doing lighting without a wall cabinet, I put my lighting centered on the edge of the countertop or the edge of the base cabinet. And when I have no wall cabinets, then I center it on the cabinet, so about 12 inches in, right? So I will just go around and start overlapping. And what I want is my lighting to overlap. And please understand, there's going to be light in this spot back here. It's not going to be dark because lighting isn't. The beam spread that we're looking at is where I'm going to have the most lighting in that space. So that if I check with a light meter, the delivered candle power down here is going to be a little bit lower than right here, but I'm working here and I'm not really working there. So what I'm going to do is just start moving them around. And please note, lighting is more of it doesn't have to be exact, you know, so it's like you can see some of my things are not overlapping. I have some lighting on in my hood, right? So I don't have to have everything perfect in that spot. So what I do is I just start moving things around, and like I have under cabinet lighting in this cabinet. So I don't know if I'm actually going to have a light fixture here on this little work surface. And then I can actually start making sure that I have lighting in spaces, and I can start centering them, right? So once I've centered all these lighting exactly where I want them to be, so that way I know that I have a good deliver, you know, I'm going to have good lighting on that space, right? I'm going to start fussing with it like this. Then what I do is I find my light fixture that I have already put all my specs in that I know that I'm going to use, and I take this and then I just start putting it right into the center of each one of these, into the center, if I can find the center. I'm going to put them right into the center of each one of these little circles, right? And then once I put all my little light fixtures in here, and if I decide like this one over my sink is going to be a decorative light fixture, I'm going to change that one out. So once I start putting them into the center of it, and like this one, the center's out a little bit, I'm going to move that in, right? Then once I have all the light fixtures exactly where I want them to be, give or take a tiny bit, then I'm going to select my little circle right here, and I'm going to hold my shift key down, and I'm going to marquee select all the way across and delete them, and then my lights are going to be right where I need
Don't
them
delete
to
them, Robin.
Amazing. What?
Don't just put them on a different layer so you should still have them.
Yeah.
Oh, but I don't need them. They're not
you might.
necessary for the plan.
No, they're not necessary for the plan, but you might want to go back and look at them later.
Or change something. Maybe the kitchen
or
changes.
change it.
Now you need to redo it. So
just put
yeah,
them on
I don't think I've ever needed to. I don't, honestly, you guys. I don't think I've ever need to go back and review them. But once I get it in
don't argue with
spot,
John because he's right.
Yeah, I'm right, Robin.
All right, move on. Got it. We gotta go. Go. We're running out of time.
Right.
So,
okay, and then my new favorite tool. No, you got to let me do my new favorite tool that I learned, which I was super excited about, which is the using your mouse key. So I'm going to get off of, this is my 3D rendering, but there's no light in here, so it's not showing very well. So let me change that off of here and put it just on vector. So if I want to spray something, so typically what ends up happening when you want to select something, I'm going to spray, you know, these, give me a second. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to select this. Good Lord. I know how to use my computer. Select this and I want to spray it on my cabinets, right? But a lot of times it's on behind me. Like I want to spray something behind me. And if you rotate your mouse, you have to reselect the item. But if you hold down your Alt key and your center mouse button, meaning your wheel, I can now spray it behind me and it'll spray right on that. Now, I don't really want tile there, but isn't that cool? So on a PC, it's your Alt key and your wheel or your center mouse key. On a Mac, it's your, what did we determine it was called, John? It's called the
option, I believe.
And your center mouse key. So there you go. And I'm done.
Cool.
There you go. Now, how do I unpresent? There we go.
So now we have a question about doing a curb rail. Let me cover that real quick. As long as I'm doing stairs here. So the way you create, you know, over here I created a railing going up the stairs part way like that. But a lot of times you want this bottom part to just be a curb, and then a rail sits on top of the curb. So what you do there, it's a little different than what I did with that one last time, is you click on the wall, put your stairs between the wall like you normally do. So the wall's outside the stairs. Let's go break that wall approximately where you want to have the railing. So I'm going to click on the wall and hit my break tool. Come on, wall. Number 3 key. So I'm going to break it somewhere. I'm going to flip the layer again so that the wall doesn't reconnect. Okay. Remember that I've got my line out here and my line in there. So now they won't reconnect. So now I've got a partial wall here. I'm going to open its dialog. I'm going to go to wall types. We're going to go to make that a pony wall. First, I got to go make it a railing. Make it a railing with balusters. And the top part of the wall will become railing with balusters. Then I'm going to make the go to wall types interior 4 on both of those. So we'll make that bottom part interior 4. And there we go. So now I've got the kind of railing out. And you can adjust that railing with spindles, however you want to do it. I think we can change it in the panels, just like you do any other railing. Whatever settings you can hear, you could put that on top of that wall. Cable rail, glass, whatever you want. All right, so then we got to go back here and hit follow stairs. All right, make sure that that's important. So the wall is against the stairs. We're going to tell it to follow the stairs. And there we go. So now we're following the stairs. Now we're going to go in here and turn the railing off. I could break, oops, didn't want to do that. I could break the stairs using the complete break tool. Break, complete break it there. And now I could leave that railing along the wall here. And then in this panel down here, I'll shift select, control select it. So you got to do that marquee, the control select, open the dialog. I can turn the railing off on the bottom, just that bottom piece of rail. All right, so now I've got that. Again, Chief's not going to do the little curve going around. Now I need to adjust the height of that. You could do it just in 3D. I like to do it in a cross section because I can get it more accurate. So I'm going to go to my cross section. I'll go to backclip cross section, go cutting the stairs. Now I'm going to pull this down until I get it to the right spot. And there's your curb rail. So that's how you do that. Pretty straightforward. Once, again, it's one of those things, not super intuitive. You have to know to do a wall, do a pony wall, tell the wall to follow the stairs, turn the railing off on the stairs, and there you go. That make sense?
Perfect sense.
Perfect sense. Good. We
Nice.
like perfect.
Nice.
That one only took me 4 years to learn. The other one took me 5.
But I think the question was, Dan, can you curve the stairs and the railing follows?
Ooh, maybe.
The question was, Albert Ford asked the question, can you curve the stairs and the railing follow?
Well, let's find out. How do you curve something?
You
That's a
hit
question for you,
your
Robin.
right mouse, right mouse key, and
All
you
right.
start pulling and it'll curve everything.
Let's just
I
do
know how
some
to
go
do
through.
this stuff.
I know, I'm giving you a hard time. We don't have a lot of time to get deep into this, so I'm just going to put a break right there. Okay, so not a complete break. I suppose you could do a complete break too. Then I'm going to grab this bottom piece and bend it. So it's bending where the break occurred. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm going to retain depth. And then I'm going to click
And the
on
railing
here.
follows.
No, not the actual
Kind
partial
of.
railing. Yeah, so now I have
Got
to
it.
curve that as well. Let's see if I can
And
get
is there
that
a way to
follow.
smooth that out so it doesn't look so choppy? Can you
Um,
smooth that railing out?
I have to remember to turn the railing off on that bottom piece now. I think that's what's happening there. We could try doing we got to go to general and tell that to be winder. Yeah, that one. The alternate winders.
Yeah,
And that should
got it.
push back into the wall like that. That's interesting. So that cleaned it up quite a bit. I still got one little hunk of something sticking out there, which we don't have time to mess with.
Yeah, it's not doing it perfectly because you didn't snap everything right to the right spot.
Exactly. I'm just kind of winging it here, but that's kind of the concept that I would use to get that going with. So you could bend part of the rail, part of the stairs, the whole stairs, whatever you want. And it looks like it's not a bad, that looks better than it usually does here. Got some decent width there.
I'm pretty sure that the run of the stair follows the walk line as far as being the right distance and stuff.
Okay.
So
Did that answer that?
in and out, so.
Did that answer the question for whoever asked that? And then let's have, this is something I didn't know. This is really cool. Dimensions. Okay. So sometimes you might have a dimension in your plan, and let me just go do something here. And let's say I don't want to have, let me just do something else here. I don't want to have that dimension between the two windows. Okay. So you could do one of two things. I could click on this dimension right here. And when I open its dialog box, I have the option under segments to turn. You see how it comes, that segment comes up highlighted? I could turn that off. I could suppress that dimension line there and say, yes, let's turn that off. I got to turn the auto dimensioning off. And let's see. So it went off. I just had another dimension sitting there. Okay. Come on, go away. This auto dimensioning thing.
What's nice in there is in that dialog box, you could also have said not to scale. I had to just recently do that on angled cabinets. So on your elevation, you know how you have an angled thing that's not to scale? If you open that up in that spot, all the way where it says trailing text, type in NTS. And no, on the right.
Well, that you could just click on any dimension, and you can click on this ABC down here.
Right.
And then you can click back on that spot and type in what you want. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or you could suppress the number, but you still have the line. So like that. And I'll do that sometimes when I get rid of a fraction or something. But you'll see when I did that, I hid that dimension. I still have the whole string here. So I'm only just not showing that part right there. So that's kind of that I knew
Aaron,
that.
it's been around for a little while. Aaron asks, how long has that been available? I love it when I know something that some of these brilliant people like Aaron and you guys don't know. It's been around for a while.
It has been around for a while. That one's been around for a while. Now, this other one, I don't know if it's been around for a while. Let me just go back and get rid of those outer dimensions again. All right, let me go back into this, and I'll turn that back on. So now I want to get rid of that dimension, but I want to leave all the other dimensions. All I have to do is highlight the ruler icon. I think I can use any dimension. Just draw over that piece of the dimension, and it'll go away. All right, so you just take your dimension tool, but now you've separated the dimensions, so now they're not going to move all at one as one. So any dimension you want to get rid of, if you're in the middle of a string or not, it doesn't matter. You can click on that, get the ruler. Again, I can use any of the ruler icons. Just trace over that dimension, you'll get rid of it. Oh, didn't go away that time. How come? Spoke too soon. What's it doing? Maybe.
Can I just make a little plug for Renee's? Can I just make a little plug for Renee's tool set? Whatever, you know, I think a lot of people freak out when you look at his screen and it has all of these icons all over it. So I've been using it now for about a week. And after modifying my toolbar and getting it cleaned up the way I work, you know what, you guys, honestly, if you're not using his tool, his plan set, whatever, his pro plan, you're wasting time. It does take you a little time to get over the enormity of the program, but it's really amazing. I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
that's very nice of you. Thank you.
Rene worked extremely hard on what he's created, and if you can learn it, you can learn to think like Rene, you're going to be good to go.
No. None of us are ever going to learn how to think like Rene.
I can list a lot of problems you're going to have if you do that.
All right, another tip for you here. When you're adding dimensions to your plan, all right, I didn't know this. So when I add a dimension and I start pulling it away from the wall, there's a snap there. So if I hit copy and I pull that dimension out, there's a snap there. I guess I have to let go.
Can you adjust that snap?
Absolutely.
Can you adjust how far that snap is?
Absolutely.
That's brilliant.
So you could see how I'm snapping it. They're all nicely spaced. That's adjusted in your dimension defaults. So when I go in there and I go to primary format,
always been there.
It's locate. Where is that again? General. Yeah, there's general. So I have it set. Nope, that's not it. It's under. Where is it again? Setup automatic. So my first line offset's 38 inches from the house, from the wall. My second, and then from then on, they're 18 inches apart. And I found that I could do 4-dimension snap. I have 4-dimension snaps. So the first one would be 38 inches from the wall, and then they'll be 18 inches apart from them. So just keep that in mind.
And that's always been there, or is it new for 17?
That tool's always been there, or that setting's always been there. I don't know if they had.
Yeah, I don't know if the snaps. I don't know how long the snaps have been there. I just learned about it in our class in Coeur d'Alene. So that was a new one to me.
Fabulous.
So that was a good one. So, and again, remember when you need dimensions, just copy them, Control C, and pull the dimension off, and then you can snap it to that next spot. You don't have to draw another
Nice.
dimension line. So that'll save you a lot of time when you're doing this kind of stuff.
Nice.
Nice little feature.
Well,
Oh,
you
we're
have
over
to
time,
always
guys.
copy. Okay.
Huh? No,
There you go.
you could draw
You-
you could draw the dimensions. You don't have to copy them. But I just think that makes it a
Okay.
lot easier.
And it'll still snap. Perfect.
Oh, I had a really good one. but
Thank
we
you,
don't have time.
guys.
Resize
So-
from a PDF.
Next time. Next
Here was
week.
something that was pretty cool that they showed us that's coming. David says he put 3D
What's that?
molding, put 3D put molding polylines all around the house to put 3D siding
Again,
on.
they didn't swear us to secrecy, so you can
No,
talk
they didn't.
about it.
Nope. So it's coming. 3D
3D.
siding, 3D roofing, 3D. I mean, all that stuff is coming. It's going to be pretty cool.
It's
Making
cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean,
Very
talk
cool,
about-
you guys.
Yeah, talk about looking realistic, and because it is, because now
And-
you can actually draw the exact profile. He was showing the exact profile of vinyl siding.
right,
Yeah.
including the
And-
clip, including
Yeah.
the clip at the top
Yeah.
and the bottom and all that kind of stuff.
So when he cut
And
a
the
cross
detail
section
of
through it,
that.
yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So they're hard at work. You thought that 3D siding was
Hey,
coming in
Ethan.
17.
Nice to see
Yeah.
you.
Hi, Ethan. Yeah, hopefully it'll be there. They never promise that it'll be there when they show us this stuff, but boy, it looked pretty darn good
Right.
from what they were showing us. So the terrain modeling was excellent. What were some of the other things? I had a list of things that I had.
They gave me labels and style palettes. Which
Oh yeah, you were pretty excited. You were jumping up and down when they said that, kind of in your mind. Speaking of that, speaking of Rene, here we are in class. Let's share my screen here real quick. Where'd I go? Add the stage. Is that me? That's Rene. Where'd mine go? Oh, I closed mine. Let me reshare it.
Okay, and this is all because I asked Rene to help me design I teased him in a private conversation about not being, that I didn't call him an interior designer. And so I had him help me design a laundry room for the NKBA. Because we're working on the new guidelines and we needed a pet washing station. And this is Rene for the whole week.
He was paying perfect attention. He was asking questions while he was working on this wonderful plan for Robin. So, good job, Rene.
And it turned out gorgeous. Yes.
You are. It really did. You're a true blue multitasker. So that was pretty cool. Well
It turned
done.
out great. So thank you.
Yeah.
And you are an
well done.
interior designer, Rene. You did a great job.
Yeah, you said you weren't, but you are. Let's see. Let me just
Look at this.
Anyway, you guys have a lovely day. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, I'm gonna just show one more thing here. I know we're way over time. Where'd we go here? I just am curious too what it is. I've made notes about what's coming. Where'd it go? Chord line. I made some notes. That's X18 trusses some more framing things were good. Joist directions, all that kind of stuff. That was some good things. A lot more options of style palette. You're talking about that. 3D materials, 3D profiles, terrain features like crazy. I like the one where you could put in your coordinates and it would grab the 3D terrain information for that spot from. They were using Google, but they're switching it to the more the government one that has more information.
Geological survey, US.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, pretty cool. All right, with that, I think we need to call it a day. So you guys, thank you for being here, everyone. If you have any questions, we're all available. Go to chiefexperts.com. You'll see everybody's contact information on the front page there. If you want to talk to any of us, look us up. Check out Rene's stuff. Check out our class. And we look forward to seeing you next time, which we'll figure out what we're going to talk about soon. So, okay. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Where Where did my screen go? Here it is. There we go. Okay.